My name is Juliana Nykolaiszyn with the Oklahoma State University Library. Today is Friday, July 24th, 2015, and we're in Welch, Oklahoma, Craig County, Oklahoma, for our Cowboys in Every County Oral History Project, visiting with Casey Walker. Casey, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Well, let's begin by learning a little more about you. Could you tell us the year you were born and where you were born?
I was born in 1986 in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about your parents.
My mother is Gayanne Higbee, and she and my father, both Russell Higbee, are from Pueblo, Colorado. Not born, but raised there. And my mother is a registered nurse, and she's been working in the NICU, Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, or Labor and Delivery Unit, depending on where she's living. And then my father is Russell, and he has a multitude of degrees, and the latest being his DVM, which he got at Oklahoma State, which is how he ended up there.
Okay.
In Stillwater.
And so eventually your family moved to Oklahoma?
Mm-hmm. When I was 6.
Okay.
In 1992.
And tell me a little bit about where your family ended up settling in Oklahoma.
We settled in Stillwater, and I was 7 when we moved. Yeah, 6 or 7 when we moved there, and we lived on the southwest side of town, and lived in Stillwater until went through all of our schooling there.
Okay. And talk me through the schools you attended as a young girl.
I went to Sanger Elementary, and I was close enough to ride my bike or walk if I wanted to. And then I went to the middle school, and then the junior high, and then the high school.
Okay. And activities you were involved with during your schooling?
I briefly dabbled in music, and then I was a cheerleader for a while, and I did soccer and dance.
Okay. And kind of describe to me the environment in Stillwater in the 80s, 90s.
Well, I wasn't there in the 80s. We got there in 92. But
Okay.
in the 90s, it was just a peaceful, quiet town. And, just small town, but big enough where I could go grocery shopping in the same town I lived in, which is different than here. So it's taking some getting used to.
And did you always think about attending college?
That's how I was raised. You're going to go to college. That's just what I was. My mom went to college, my dad went to college, my brother went to college. That was just a role that I needed to fulfill.
Okay. And as you were growing up, did you have any experiences at Oklahoma State prior to enrolling?
Oh, yes. We went to sporting events. We did the walk around. We did the, the lights on Stillwater. We did all that, the homecoming week and all that stuff. So, okay. And my dad went to the vet school, so I learned to drive a stick shift at the vet school parking lot. Just driving around in circles. So, yeah.
Did you have a favorite place on campus you like to hang out?
Theta Pond was always nice to walk around and feed the ducks when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly if I was going to the campus, it was going to the vet hospital.
Okay.
So that's where I remember walking around a lot.
Okay. Did your father practice in town?
No. Or he did more research after he graduated. And so he worked for OSU, and then he started practicing in Claremore.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, talk to me about your path to OSU and thinking about attending, and why OSU?
Honestly, it just seemed easy. I mean, there was a period where when I was in high school, I wasn't really thinking about my future at all. I was having fun. And I did the Gateway program from NOC and then went over to OSU. And it was easy, and it was there, and I liked the security of being close.
So you have an older brother?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he also attend OSU?
Briefly.
Okay.
And then he joined the military. He joined the Air Force, and then they didn't need pilots, so he joined the Army.
Oh, okay.
So that's what he did.
So you attended starting in what year? Your freshman year was in?
2005 was my freshman year.
Okay.
2005.
And did you live on campus or at home?
At home, and then off campus, but not at home. So,
okay.
Like in an apartment.
Okay. And at that point, did you have an idea of what your major was going to be?
Mm-hmm. Always it was going to be psychology from the beginning.
Okay. And the reasoning behind psychology, did you just really like that area?
I really liked it. I had a professor who inspired me, Dr. Jeremy Cook. He's fantastic. I took all of his classes even if I didn't need them. But that, and I figured I was kind of crazy, so learning a little bit about that, and then I just fell in love with it, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to help people.
Okay.
So.
And so, kind of talk to me about some of your favorite classes. You mentioned Jeremy Cook. Any other professors that really stick out in your mind?
That was so long ago. Oh my gosh. Well, Dr. Abramson. He's pretty intimidating.
Yes.
But really enjoyed his class. I only braved through one of them. I wish I would have done more. And then Dr. Birdcraven, she's fantastic. She's fantastic.
Were you involved in any on-campus activities?
Yes. Let's see. In 2009, I was in OSU Psych Club for a couple years, and then 2009 I was an officer. I was the homecoming, whatever you call that, homecoming chair.
Mm-hmm.
For the OSU Psych Club. Then I was also active in Eco OSU.
Okay.
So we did Earth Day fests and things like that, and did the OSU parade on scooters and bicycles and stuff. So teaching people how to recycle.
And what was the environment on campus while you were a student? What was it like?
I would have to say it wasn't hard. It was pretty easy. I never felt like it was too big and overwhelming, but a 10-minute walk from class to class, so it was big, but it didn't feel overwhelming at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of extroverted, so maybe that's part of it. But I liked it. It was nice. I felt like the professors really cared about me and what I needed to succeed. So it was a good experience, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Any campus traditions that come to mind?
Homecoming. We have the best homecoming in the world.
Tell me about homecoming.
A lot of partying. So I don't, you know.
That's part of it.
It's part of it. The walk around, there's a lot of people at the walk around. I didn't usually brave the walk around because even though I'm extroverted, that many people was kind of overwhelming. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Then, the homecoming parade, football. I love football. So everything that has to do with football. Gundyville. Gundyville's pretty fantastic. I never did Gundyville, because I always had a job and I had to go to work or class. So, but I know people that did Gundyville that camped out for days. So I don't know. It was fun.
You mentioned you worked. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about your job.
I worked at Albertsons, which is now called Food Pyramid, and I worked there for about 5 years, through the end of my high school, through like my 3rd or 4th year in college. I was a super senior, took a little extra time to get that degree. That's good stuff. So I worked at Albertsons. I was a cashier. I worked in the customer service department. I worked in the floral department. Worked in the bakery, the deli. I stocked shelves. I did a lot of stuff. It was fun. That was a great family of people to be a part of. It was good.
But not the meat department.
I stocked, but I know a guy who cut his thumb off there, so not really my thing.
Do you have a place on campus that is kind of your favorite spot?
Out of all of the, North Murray was like my home for a while. It's kind of a creepy home. It's a little old, but that, like, as a building, I would say that maybe that would be one. And then I liked to study up in HES West over there on the walkway, on the skywalk. I liked studying up there. It was nice and peaceful. And then somewhere on the library lawn usually. I like being outside.
Tell me about dating in college. What was that like for you?
I never dated a guy in college. Like if I was having if I had a serious boyfriend, it was not with someone that I was, in classes with. I made good friends. I mean, I don't know how much you want me to tell you.
What would you do for a typical date while you were a student?
Beer pong. Beer pong was always good.
Where would you play?
At friends' houses, near campus usually. When they had all those old houses before they expanded the athletic department, and a bunch of those houses, we'd hang out there. That was fun. Watch scary movies, get drunk, do stupid things.
The typical college experience.
The typical college experience. It was fantastic.
Were there popular places off campus?
Shortcakes. The guy I dated worked at Shortcakes, so and that's where you go after you go to bars. So, makes sense. And then I studied at Panera Bread a lot. I don't know if that's popular or not, but that's where I studied. I don't know. I spent a lot of time at Shortcakes.
Did you spend much time on the Strip?
Not terribly much. I didn't really like the whole drinking and driving, and nobody ever wanted to be a sober driver, so I tended to just drink where I was staying. It made it safer.
Sure.
So, and then I never got a DUI, so that's good.
That's very good. While you were in college, did your parents continue to live in Stillwater?
My parents divorced when I was like 12 or 13.
Okay.
When I graduated high school in 2004, my dad moved to Florida.
Okay.
My mom stayed in Stillwater until 2013, and then she moved to Arizona.
Okay.
So she was around through college.
Okay. Did you go home and see your parents much?
I mostly lived at home. There was just a brief period of time towards the end of college that I wasn't living at home.
Okay. So you always had that good family connection, for the most part. Right. Got it.
Yes. It's definitely good now. Back then it was a little strained.
So, as you're studying and you're working your way through the psychology program, did you have any idea of what you wanted to do when you graduated?
Ideally, I wanted to be a therapist or, something of the sort, something in the mental health field. But after I graduated, I kind of took a different route for a while.
Okay. And so, when graduation day came around, and it was in
2011.
Okay.
There was a brief period. My husband got reattached to a National Guard unit. He was inactive. He served 4 years in the military before I met him, and then we met and we were dating, and he got a letter stating that he was going to deploy to Iraq, and that was in 2007, the very end of 2007, and so we had a month, and we were already engaged, so we just went ahead and got married, had a week together before he deployed, or got stationed somewhere else to then deploy. So during that year that he was gone, I kind of struggled in school, so I dropped a few classes and kind of got behind. So it took a while, so that's why from 2005 to 2011.
Okay.
So it took a little bit of extra time.
How'd you meet your husband?
At a party. At a friend's house.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Through a mutual friend. She's pretty fantastic, and they work together, and we met and bonded over a website and talking about a website and a pack of cigarettes, of course, because that's what you do when you're in college. You smoke cigarettes.
Was he also attending school there?
No, not at that point in time. No.
Okay.
He did after, or was it before or after he deployed? I think it was. I don't remember. I think it was after he got back. I could be lying to you. I think it was before he deployed. There was a brief period of time when we were, I don't either remember dating or married, where he was attending OSU for a hotel and restaurant administration degree.
Okay.
So, but he never finished as of right now. But that doesn't mean he won't go back and finish.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that we had babies and things to... That's what it was. We were married. And it was after he got back. And he was attending college. He did a full year before we had our first child. And then he went to work full time.
Okay.
So I could finish because I was closer
Mm-hmm.
to finishing. So,
Okay.
sorry about that.
So, talk to me about graduation day. What was that like?
A blur of a lot of people. It was pretty awesome because a lot of people didn't think, well, that I'd make it to 18, let alone graduate college. So it was pretty cool to prove a lot of people wrong. And there was a lot of pomp and circumstance. You know, you have the party, you have the food, and, you know, the whole shebang.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice.
Okay.
It was pretty exciting. I sat next to a girl that I know who still works at OSU now, so that's cool.
But you mentioned that that a lot of people did not think you'd make it to 18.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of a hellion. We'll go with that.
Okay. Good. So after graduation in 2011, kind of take me through your work career.
Well, I was, right before I graduated, about a year before I graduated, I started working at Cockrell Eye Care Center.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked there through and after graduation. I got into nursing school because at that point I decided that I wanted to kind of follow my mom's footsteps and become a labor and delivery nurse. Got into nursing school, but I spent a lot of money from my student loans on my bachelor's degree, and so I didn't have enough money to fulfill that because it was at like the same level. Like if I were to get a master's, I would have student loan money for that, but not for a bachelor's or associate's degree, which is what the RM program at NOC is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't actually get to do that, so I stayed working at Cockrell Eye Care Center. I was a certified para-optometric, and I worked with the doctors, and I would take back patients and teach people how to put in contacts and touch people's eyeballs all the time. I got pretty good at it and pretty used to touching things that I wasn't quite comfortable with at first. So it was a good experience. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about medical records. I learned a lot about HIPAA, a lot of legal things that I hadn't learned before. I learned a lot about customer service. It was a hard time in my life because I was like, well, I'm graduated. I want to get a job in the mental health field, or I want to become a nurse, and then I wasn't a nurse, and so it was kind of a rocky period, and I was a new mom, and but I learned a lot. It was a good life lesson. I was there until 2012, and I left there to have my second child and stay home. And then I stayed home for a little bit and worked with a newborn and infant at my church daycare. I was the director of before and after school care at the First Methodist Church. Mm-hmm. I did that for a while. Found out that I like kids a lot one-on-one. Not really a huge fan of like 15 of them at a time. So, we all have our strengths, and that was not one of mine, and that's okay. I loved the ECC, fantastic group of women who, take care of and alloparent your children. It's fantastic. I loved that my kids were there. My husband also worked there at the time. He was the director of food service there. So, he worked downstairs, my kids were upstairs, I worked across the street. It was really nice. And my tiny human was in a little baby carrier right here, so I got to chase little kids around with her right here. It was nice. So I did that until she was about 9 months old, I think. No, she was about a year. She was about a year old whenever I left there. And then I worked at Stillwater Medical Center as a receptionist for an off-site doctor's office. Mm-hmm. And then that was until October of last year, 2014. Mm-hmm. And then I got a job up here.
Well, tell me a little bit about what you're doing today.
Right now, I am called a care coordinator, and I'm a certified case manager level 2 for the state of Oklahoma, and that means I am able to do case management and rehab services. I work in the children's department, so I help kids with a little extra need. They need a little extra support. It just depends on whether, they may have had a bad home life or a traumatic experience, or any number of things could have happened for them to be able to get into our services. So I work at Grand Lake Mental Health, and I've been there since April, and it's a fantastic place to work. It's a great place to work.
And are you doing what you enjoy doing?
Oh yes, I finally found a place that takes all my quirkiness and it's actually a positive, and I am able to use all of my strengths, which haven't always been looked at as strengths, and so I'm able to fill a need, which is fantastic. And they obviously like me. I'm Grand Lake Mental Health July Employee of the Month for Craig County, so that's pretty exciting. Thank you. Yeah, I was pretty excited about that since I've only been there since April. But yeah, I work with a great team of people, and we are changing the world one little bit at a time. So that's fantastic.
So you moved from Stillwater, Oklahoma, to Welch, Oklahoma. Talk to me about Welch.
Well, it's tiny town USA. It's a sweet little community. I'm learning to love it. It's taken a little bit of time. It's got a population of 623 people after we became residents. However, I haven't seen more than like 200 people ever together at one time, so I don't really believe the number. I don't know, but it's very small. It's a little farming community. My husband's family's from here. This is where he graduated. I'm making some pretty great friends here, and I've got great family. I've got great in-laws here, and I'm getting used to the trains. And I'm getting used to having to get groceries in a different town. So that's okay. It takes a lot of adaptation, but, that's good.
So
change is good.
When you go to town, what town do you go to?
I work in Bonita. Which is about 17 miles away from here. And they have a grocery store there. They have two. They have a Walmart and a different grocery store. So I can just pick up groceries on my way home. Or we've got Miami, which is about 10 miles to the east. And I am about 10 miles from Kansas and 20 miles from Missouri. So that can kind of give you a frame of reference of where we are in the state. I used to work in Joplin. When we moved up here, I worked in Joplin. I worked for OOHRP Center, which I was doing a very, very similar job that I am here. I worked in a children's department. I was a case manager. I had a clientele that I would work with one-on-one. But Bonita's a lot closer, and it's in my same state, so that's where I went when they offered me the job. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Have you run into many OSU grads or OSU folks who attended OSU in Craig County?
Actually, I work alongside one of the guys I went to college with. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. He did his undergrad at OSU, and we were in we did it at the same time. We did our psych degrees at the same time, and he's like 3 offices down from me. So that's pretty cool.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So, and then there's a few. There's a whole lot of Sooner fans up here, so gotta put that orange up everywhere.
So, you're a second generation OSU grad.
I am a second generation OSU grad. And my kids will be a third.
There we go. How do you show your OSU pride?
Well, on my name badge I have an OSU little pin right there. And then on my car, I'm wearing OSU stuff all the time. I have a bright orange OSU chair. The whole office is OSU. I have some friends from church who are big Sooner fans, and they're like, you need to get rid of that. I said, I'm a second generation, you ain't getting rid of it, and they're graduating there too, so you're good. And my husband, he just OSU every day of his life.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
How do you try to remain connected to the university, or do you?
Through Facebook a lot, and we still have friends that either work at the college or professors or staff or up through Facebook. And I lived there for 23 or 4 years. 23 years, and I have a huge village down there, so I keep in contact with them a lot. So.
Do you make it down to Stillwater?
We did more frequently up until we sold our house there in February, and we've made it back once since then. So I want to get back there. I miss it there. I want to go and see my friends. So we'll get back there. It's Crazy Days this weekend, so I'll probably go in then.
I know, right?
Yesterday is when it started. Okay, sorry.
Yes. You know, thinking about your experience as a college student and kind of looking ahead, what experience would you give to students today?
Do well in high school to get those scholarships because college is expensive. I did not do that. I partied a lot in high school and I didn't have any scholarships, so I have a lot of student loan debt. So unless you're going to get out of school, get a job that's going to pay a whole lot of money, then I would recommend definitely working on those scholarships and grants. So.
Okay. Tell me we've spoken about your husband, but tell me a little bit about your husband and your children.
My husband's name is Glenn Walker. He's the one who actually nominated me for this. He is recently hired as the food service director in Parsons, Kansas for their school district. So that's really exciting. Besides the time where he was in the military, in the infantry, he has been in food service and he absolutely loves it. He wants to open up his own restaurant one day. And he's just fantastic. He's handy, he is so thoughtful, and he's a wonderful cook. So, all wonderful things. Yeah, he's really nice. And he's about 7 years older than me. He's just fantastic. So.
And your children?
Zoe, she's 5.5. And she will tell you that I'm 5.5. And she will be starting kindergarten this year. She's very excited about that. We just recently went to try out for a play because she's so extroverted and very theatrical, and we just wanted to kind of embrace that. There's a Miami Little Theater that we were going to try out for, but she got a little overwhelmed. So we didn't do that this year. She goes, I just want to watch it. I'll try it for the next one. Okay, let's do that. So she's always putting on some type of show, singing, dancing, doing something. She's fantastic. She's spunky. She's very intelligent. She's very tiny, though. She's a very small human. So, and then Tegan's 2.5. She's just like me. I'm pretty scared. She's amazing, and she's so bullheaded, and she wants what she wants, and that she knows what she wants. She's so intelligent. She's gonna give me a run for my money. I can tell you that. She's awesome. They're both awesome. I love my kids. I've been blessed. My whole family's pretty amazing. So.
Well, we definitely appreciate your time today, and it's great seeing all the wonderful things you're doing.
Thank you.
As an alum with the university and making a difference in families here in this part of Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say. Can we go back to Grand Lake?
Absolutely.
Because the program I work for, it's called Health Homes, and it integrates physical well-being with mental health well-being, and puts it all together. And the team that I work with, we are working towards keeping the family together and strengthening the family, and instead of, putting them inpatient or getting them taken out of the home. So it's a really big deal. Like, I love my job. I love the team I work with, because we are making that difference, in somebody's life. They're staying with their family when they might not have been able to before. So it's pretty fantastic. And you're teaching those things like coping skills and anger management techniques, and things everybody needs, not just kids. So it's pretty cool. I love being a part of it.
And you could definitely see that impact. That you're definitely helping and making a difference.
Yes, it's pretty exciting, and it's very slow. You have to be patient, which is not my strong point at all. But you do get to see that positive change and difference in those kids' lives. And I'm going to go back and get my master's and become a licensed therapist, so I can further that and then be even more impactful, I hope.
Where are you going to go?
I have no idea yet. I don't know if OSU does online. I'm waiting until Tegan gets into school before I get back and get my master's, because I'm tired.
And yeah, kids take a lot out of you.
Kids, you know, when you work with kids and then you come home to kids and you just want, and you just get tired. But you know what? It's okay. It's fantastic. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I think that I've been aligned here for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good. I'm happy.
It was the plan. It's a good plan.
It is a good plan for now.
Oh yeah.
We'll just adapt when we need to.
Well, Casey, thank you so much for sitting down with us and sharing a little bit about your life and your family and your work and your passion for OSU.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's awesome.